Give it up for John, everybody. I appreciate that guy. I'll send this song out for him. He could always be found in the backyard. The bases he'd round until it grew too dark. When his time came, he didn't hesitate. They put him in the game, and he stepped up to the plate. He was thinking curveball, but he got instead 95 miles an hour right into his head. He hobbled down to first with a lump on his face, and on the very next pitch, he up and stole second base. With the greatest speed, he wasn't born, but he had the dirtiest uniform. With the greatest speed, he wasn't born, but he had the dirtiest uniform. Board was out of touch, kids were out of reach. She never gave up on her passion to teach. And even though the school's on the wrong side of the tracks, she'd cross over and she came and gave back. We knew she could have left, but she stuck around to get everyone else's feet back on the ground. Then we would thrive and we'd achieve, 'cause she's the first one to arrive and the last one to leave. From the wealthiest town, she wasn't born, but she had the dirtiest uniform. From the wealthiest town, she wasn't born, but she had the dirtiest uniform. Both of them folks, they were heroes to me, and I grew up with hopes of something to be. I'd watch him play, listen to her teach, and I set out on my way to practice what they preach. So I heard my calling, and I found my thing. Now I spend my Sunday nights falling down trying to sing. But I get back up, just like they taught, and I keep on working with the tools that I got. With the prettiest voice, I wasn't born, but I'll have the dirtiest uniform. With the prettiest voice, I wasn't born, but I'll have the dirtiest uniform. Names in the lights, get out of the van. Another night singing songs in Bishop Hill with a bunch of John Taylor's friends, I guess. Putting in the miles, living the dream. It's all been worthwhile, the times we took one for the team. With the catchiest sound, we weren't born, but we've got the dirtiest uniforms. With the catchiest sound, we weren't born, but we've got the dirtiest uniforms. Oh, the catchiest songs, you know I don't perform, but I've got the dirtiest uniform. Thank you very much. Oh, it's good to be back in the big city. Happy Sunday Fun Day, everybody. I pulled in and there was a beautiful sunset over that way and a giant moon coming up over that way, and I was like, It was beautiful. I started driving when I was 11 years old on the family farm in my grandpa's Chevy Silverado. And he let me do whatever I wanted on that farm. There was nothing to hit or run into. It was great. I could just floor it down those dirt roads. And, when I was 15, I got in driver's ed, and I was already well practiced thanks to Grandpa's truck and his farm. But it was weird because we would have this cemetery, and we had our driver's ed instructor was John T. Weiser. And what he would do, we didn't know if he was messing with us or not, but he would make us drive all the way through the cemetery on this narrow road in reverse. I was like, what is the deal? What is happening right now? Is he just messing with us, or what is the whole purpose of this? I didn't know. But yeah, we would just like a half a mile through the cemetery, just weaving on this narrow little road. And like I said, I was practiced, so I passed with flying colors. Then when I hit the pavement, it seemed like every time I would head east on I-74, it was under construction. And to this day, it still is. And I was sitting there one day in traffic, and I was like, I'm in a standstill in Danville. And then I was like, I'm in a standstill in Danville. And then I started coming up with these songs because I sat there for like an hour and a half not moving. I started coming up with this little story here. People have been passing things across the Illinois-Indiana line for years. And so thanks to that construction, at least I got a song. It goes like this. Well, come on, boys, I can see the light through the shadow of my doubt. I'll make a run at the sun tonight and be home before it's out. Pour some fuel on the fire and I'll make good time. So meet me down at the Indiana line. Oh, meet me down at the Indiana line. Got a heavy thought, but my foot is soft and we're 30 through these towns. Yeah, I won't stop till I make the drop and I turn this thing around. Well, I'll obey the signals, I'll obey them signs. Just point me towards that Indiana line. Yeah, point me towards that Indiana line. Yeah, feel free to stop tonight. It's a make or break to the interstate, no way I could get caught. With a stack of bills and a hose to fill, I'd do it in one shot. I'll be the king of the roadkill, two birds at one time. I'm a stone's throw from the Indiana line. I'm a stone's throw from the Indiana line. There's an overhaul in the left lane stall, the sheriff on my tail. I'll pay you pass, so I hit that gas and move on down the trail. 'Cause I won't be forgiven, they don't take too kind. Now they're holding up that Indiana line. Well, holding up that Indiana line. There's a standstill, oh, in Danville. I'm falling way behind. There's a standstill, oh, in Danville. I'll be losing more than my mind. Come on, boys, they're flashing lights in the shadow of my doubt. I made a run at the sun tonight, now all my options out. Hope I make it back home to Illinois, the beating oh refined. Thanks so much. We're gonna start off with some of the hits and we'll play a few new ones if that's all right. My biggest fans are here and they want to hear this one always, so here we go. I worked all week long so I could go down to the arena for the big country show. But when I stepped inside, I began to shed a tear when I saw a sign that read $13 beers. $13 beers, $13 beers. I'd love to hear some songs and maybe drown away my fears. But I am just a poor boy, my money disappears. And I just can't get drunk on $13 beers, true story. I made it to my seat. It was the third row from the back. I couldn't see a thing but a blurry cowboy hat. And all the folks behind me, they were screaming in my ear. They were getting drunk on $13 beers. $13 beers, $13 beers. I'd love to hear some songs and maybe drown away my fears. But I am just a poor boy now, I can't see or hear. And I still can't get drunk on $13 beers. This is my #1 most requested song by kids 10 and under. They just love it. There was a whole gang of them waiting for me when I got here. They said, "Chicago Farm, are you gonna play the $13 beer song?" I said, "Of course, kids, that's my hit. Now try to get your parents to like me. Teach them how to work the Spotify thing or whatever that is." Well, I left after a song. I got out of there fast. Saw a guy on the front row in a tie-dye, so I asked, "Is there any place around here where they'll treat you right?" Said some guy named Farmer's playing Bishop Hill Creative Commons tonight. You can bring your own beer, you can bring your own beer. He'll sing you some songs and he'll drown away your fears. My old pal Fox, and this whole place is music to my ears. Oh, we'll listen and we'll drink up and bring our own beer. Oh, we'll dance in our chairs and drink up and bring our own beer. Oh, we'll sing along, we'll drink up, hey everybody, cheers. Cheers, 'cause we're not drinking $13 beers. Hey, thanks for coming out tonight. It's good to be back here. All right. Yeah. I don't get to say that in very many places I play. Bring your own potluck. I mean, what else do you need? Some decent songs, and you got it all. There's a song I started writing in the midst of that whole thing that we just went through, and that we're still going through. I know it's time to move on, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't write songs about it. But I can't think of a better place to play it than right here. Surrounded by art and music, it's my two favorite things. They go together like peanut butter and beer, which is what I'm drinking right now. They have peanut butter and beer now. Can you believe it? Believe it, ladies and gentlemen. It's America. Home is where the art is. Home is where this song. It hits you the the hardest when you're away from home too long. Home is where the art is, home is where there's song. It hits you the hardest when you're away from home too long. I had made up my mind before I made this bed. Today I'm gonna try to find some words that ain't been said, 'cause I could use something new stuck inside my head. Home is where the art is, home is where there's song. It hits you the hardest when you're away from home too long. And we had made up our minds before we made this stage. Tonight we're gonna try to find some notes that ain't been played. Town to town, nothing sounds as good as homemade. Home is where the art is, home is where there's song. It hits you the hardest when you're away from home too long. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. Thanks for putting a little art and music in your lives. I've been away, I've been away, I've been away. I've been away, I've been away, we've been away. Home is where the art is, home is where there's song. It hits you the hardest when you're away. You're away from home too long. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be playing holiday songs such as $13 beers and all night long. This is a song I wrote in this business that I'm in, this line of work. We have these things, they're called booking agents, and what the booking agents do is they book you your gigs, but they not only book you your gigs, they book you gigs that make sense. So like, you'll play one night in Peoria, and then you'll drive like a couple hours to, I don't know, St. Louis, and then you'll hop over to, it's like this routing thing where you don't have to drive like crazy. I mean, you drive way too much every day, but it's supposed to make sense. And I started writing this song when before I had one of those booking agents, because I played Denver, Colorado on Saturday night, and I had agreed to play Delavan, Illinois on Sunday afternoon. And as after that, I was like, I really need to work hard to try to get one of those booking agent people, you know. And that's about a 15-hour drive. And I had finished playing Denver at midnight, and I just got in the car and started hauling to play the big Delavan Fall Festival. And I had this idea for the song because I had written it. I knew what the song was going to be about. It was going to be about my dad, because my dad had passed away, and it was our thing was shooting pool. So I knew the song was going to be about shooting pool. And I had two really ideas why I was writing the song. Number one was after being like Rocky Mountain High for like 6 days, coffee and other things, they just don't work like they do on night 1 or 2 like they do on night 5 or 6. So number one, I started writing this song to keep myself awake. And number two, I wanted to write the song to make the family smile, which hadn't happened for a while. So. And I had read just recently that John Prine used to write songs when he was driving. And he would drive from Maywood, Illinois to Chicago, which is like 45 minutes, and he'd write hits. And I was like some of his songs were written in that 45 minutes. I was like, I could never pull that off, but if you give me 15 hours, I'll come up with something. I stayed awake, and the family smiled, so mission accomplished. It's the night before Christmas, and all through the bar, creatures were stirring with their mouths ajar. Back by the pool table, there arose such a clatter as people gathered round to see what was the matter. Is the most impressive sight anybody ever saw. That is this side of the old Mackinac. See, Dad and I's putting on one heck of a show, 'cause we'd won 6,748 games of pool in a row. Well, the onlookers, they just couldn't believe their eyes. They were stepping to the table and dropping like flies. One by one, we's putting them to bed with visions of Jaeger bombs all in their heads. And they's handing us drinks and buying us dinner. We's giving them fits and taking no prisoners, just separating all the men from the boys down at the farmhouse bar and grill in Delavan, you guessed it, Illinois. And me and Dad, well, we do all right. We drink for free when we're out Sunday nights. The boys and the daddies give all that they have, but nobody shoots pool like me and Dad. Well, the clock struck midnight and there was a howling wind, and these two outlaws came stumbling in. Yeah, one reeked of gas and the other of booze, and they's covered in grease and leather and tattoos, and they couldn't talk straight. They's both just a mumbling, they couldn't walk straight. They's both just a stumbling, cussing and slurring up in everybody's face. And Dad said, "Son, I think it's time we put these two drunken outlaws in their place." So they came up to us and started calling us names. They said, "Hey, pretty boys, we got next game." I said, "It's closing time. Yeah, we're packing up, but that'll be all right. Go ahead and rack 'em up," 'cause they were slobbering drunk, sweaty and greasy. And I looked at Dad and said, "This is gonna be easy." So I give 'em a whack, but nothing did fall. It was a Dolly Parton break, all bust and no balls. And those outlaws, they stumbled down all over that table. Then they stood up straight like they's perfectly able, gave us a wink and they flexed their muscles. And Dad said, "Son, I think we're being hustled." Grabbed their cues like a shotgun and they leaned down and cocked it, took aim and fired into the corner pocket. Man, they's running the table. Yeah, we's getting spanked. They're pulling off 6 and 7 rail banks, and there's nothing we could do. No use in trying. Dad and I knew it's all over but the crying. We suffered defeat after winning so long. That's right, y'all. Dad and I finally got beat by my sister and my mom. Me and the family, well, we do all right. We drink for free when we're out Sunday nights. The kids and the families give all that they have, but nobody shoots pool like me, sis, Mom, and Dad. True story, happy holiday. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week singing holiday songs. Too early for that one? No? All right. I like to spin a few tales, if that's okay. My first gig was at that farmhouse bar and grill in Delavan. Anybody ever heard of it? No? You've been there. Yes. You get extra. Oh, that's a... Yeah. Yeah. I never gave that a name. It was just a story. It's kind of a blur, but maybe second set I'll try it. I'll try to recall what happened.
It's a true story too. Well, they're all mostly true. Yeah. All right, I was here and we played the gig here, and my wife and I were in a hurry to get to the Fat Fish Pub in Galesburg, and there were two reasons why we were in such a hurry to get to the Fat Fish Pub in Galesburg. Number one, our friends the Hen House Prowlers were playing there. Yeah, and they're like my favorite band of all time. And we got pulled over on 34, and the cop came to the window, and he said, "Smells like cannabis in here." And I said, "No, it doesn't." And he said, "Yes, it does." And I said, "No, it doesn't." I said, "It just smells like feet." I was like, "I'm a musician. It just smells like feet. That's the way musicians' cars smell." And he didn't like that very much. And I said, "Oh, and by the way, nobody calls it cannabis anymore, I don't think." And he really didn't like that. So he asked my wife and I to get out of the car, and he patted us both down, and he didn't find anything. And and I remember he's like, "If I search this car, am I going to find anything?" And I said, "No, sir, absolutely not, 100%. And he said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yes." And I knew that if he searched the car, he wasn't going to find anything, and I was 100% sure he wasn't going to find anything. And I knew that because that was the second reason why I was in such a hurry to get to Galesburg, Illinois, in the Fat Fish Pub. But anyways, you guys got some tax dollars off of me, so there you go. Speeding. I woke up this morning with the last night's blues. Tied one on, but I lost my shoes. Don't need a paper to know the news. Think I'll just go uptown. Everybody there's throwing around my name. Seems like I'm always a-catching that plane. It's just another one of them small town games. Think I'm gonna lose this round. 'Cause everybody knows the kind of life that you're bound to lead if it's wrong or right. Everybody knows all about your share of ups and downs. Everybody knows everybody in this town. Tall Molly in her mini dress. Saturday night she's a ballin' mess. Sunday morning she'll confess. Everybody's listening now. Later on, bound that same night, two grown men in a barroom fight. Factory's gone back on strike. Everybody's talking now. 'Cause everybody knows the kind of life that you're bound to lead if it's wrong or right. Everybody knows all about your share of ups and downs. Everybody knows everybody in this town. Everybody knows everybody in this town. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows the kind of life that you're bound to lead if it's wrong or right. Everybody knows all about your share of ups and downs. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody in this town. Everybody knows everybody in this town. Everybody knows. I woke up this morning with the last night's blues. Tied one on, but I lost my shoes. Now it's no secret, me and Miley's news. Everybody knows by now. Thank y'all very much. Sorry to all the big city folk have to hear these small town songs here tonight. I appreciate the request for a story. That makes me feel real happy. It's like I don't even have to play or sing to tell stories. But people do like the stories, and I started doing that at my hometown bar, the Farmhouse in Delavan. And it was the first paid gig I ever had. They said, "We will pay you $50, a catfish dinner, and all the beer you can drink." And I was like, yes. I didn't ask any details. I didn't need to know any other information. I was just like, yes. And I immediately went and called everyone in high school who ever did me wrong. And told them all about it, because I had made it. And I was hanging out there that night, and I knew that the bands that played there started at 9, but that was the only information I knew. So I went and asked the bartender, I said, how long do I play for? And she said, young man, you'll need to play from 9 to 1. And at the time, I knew 2 Johnny Cash songs, 2 CCR tunes, a Nirvana song, and I had one of my own. There wasn't very many songs to cover 4 hours. And when I learned that information, I had already eaten my catfish dinner and had like 4 beers. So I had to think of something. And I said, well, I always like the way Grandpa tells stories, so maybe I'll just tell stories. So I did. Here's a story song I wrote for my wife. She married a musician. She has 3 jobs. She couldn't be here tonight. She sends her love. Well, all my troubles, all my blues, oh, they take a back seat when I'm with you. All my friends and my guitars too, oh, they take a back seat when I'm with you. 'Cause you and me, baby, we drive around. You fix me up when I break down. And you're all that I need, babe, and you're all that I want. That's why I gotta have you here up front. All my troubles, yeah, all my blues, oh, they take a back seat when I'm with you. All my friends and my guitars too, yeah, they take a back seat when I'm with you. When I'm with you, I get a little lost. Points of interest come across when I'm with you. Oh, the night's on fire, eyes are wide when the road ties. Been married 14 years. Thank you. And after 14 years of marriage and 17 years of traveling around the country together, we had thought that we had seen it all. But some time ago, we found ourselves in a place called Pittsburgh. It's a lovely community. Problem was, we pulled into Pittsburgh at 5 o'clock on a Friday. Not a good time to pull into a major city. And there was this long line of cars not going anywhere. And we needed to get into that long line of cars not going anywhere. And I looked at my wife and I said, babe, we're in trouble. What happened next was possibly the most kind and loving and generous thing that we had ever witnessed in all of our travels. I made eye contact with a guy in a car, in that long line of cars, and he went like this to us. I looked at my wife and I said, what is that guy doing? She said, I have no idea. I'm from Delavan, population 1,700. We didn't even have traffic. My wife's from Chicago. I can tell you right now, Bishop Hill, in the history of Chicago traffic, there's never been one instance where a human being has ever gone like this. Luckily, I had my window down, and there was this guy on the corner. And the guy on the corner was like, hey, man, he's telling you that you can go ahead. You can put your car right in front of his car. I said, are you serious? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, what will happen? And he said, nothing. He said, nothing but pure joy and happiness, man. And I looked at my wife, and I said, do you believe this? And she said, well, if I know, but let's go for it. So we did. And we gave that woman the wave in. Or a woman gave us the wave in. And we put our car right in front of that car. And nothing happened to us. Nothing but pure joy and happiness, man. And I looked at my wife and I said, how amazing was that? I said, we got to start taking this with us from now on wherever we go. And I feel like we could use a little bit of that love in our country and world right now. 'Tis the season, don't you think, ladies and gentlemen? A week later, we were in Chicago, 5 o'clock on a Friday, this time on the Eisenhower Expressway. And we were in a long line of cars not going anywhere, and I made eye contact with this woman who wanted to get into our long line of cars not going anywhere. And I looked at my wife and I said, I'm gonna do it. She said, you're such a good person. That's why I married you almost 14 years ago. I said, I know. So we gave that woman the wave in, and she came and she put her car right in front of our car. And nothing happened to her either, Bishop Hill. Nothing but pure joy and happiness, man. And I looked at my wife and I said, we are making a difference. We are having an impact. We are changing the world. And then some guy behind us in a fancy sports car yelled out his window, what in the hell are you hippies doing up there? Let's go. So apparently it doesn't always work. But we have to keep trying. That's all we can do is try. Thanks for trying me on here at Bishop Hill Creative Commons so many times. I appreciate it. When I'm with you, I get a little lost. Points of interest come across when I'm with you. Where the night's on fire, eyes are wide when the road tires. You're so good to me, I'll be good to you. Be up front with me, babe, I'll be up front with you. And then I'll make this promise to you. If you're ever in my backseat, I'll be there too. All my troubles, yeah, all my blues, oh, they take a backseat when I'm with you. All my friends and my guitars too, yeah, they take a backseat when I'm with you. When I'm with you. When I'm with you. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that.
song I played for the very first time at a place called the Red Barn in Peoria, Illinois. That place was my jam. That last song, I really only have like 2 love songs in my whole repertoire. They're both about the same woman, too. I have albums worth of other songs about other women, but I wouldn't really call them love songs. I don't know, folk blues, maybe a little country and all this music, Americana, I don't know, but somewhere along the lines, people started calling this working class music, which coming from central Illinois in a small town, that really meant a lot to me. Getting classified as anything was cool. I like to take the torch of working class music. It's not really what I set out to do, though. What I set out to do was to work really, really hard so I didn't have to do really, really hard work. It's been my motto since day one. And some of my friends give me a hard time because I've been doing that forever. We'll be out somewhere and they'll say, I'll be like, so nice to see you all. I had such a great time, but I should probably get going. And then my friends will say, ooh, you got a big day of playing guitar and writing poems tomorrow? And I'll say, as a matter of fact, I do. Because after 20 years of working really hard to not have to do really hard work, it's finally starting to pay off. And I appreciate the support. And at the end of every day, when I go to bed, I think about all of you all helping me do that and achieve this goal. I couldn't have done it without you. This is the one that probably started it all. I wrote it at Caterpillar Incorporated after I worked there for 4 days. And I was sitting there at the Red Barn, and the guy to the next of me had worked there for the last 40 years, and the guy on the other side of me was about to start working there for the next 40 years. I said, this song's for y'all. Well, I'm walking, I'm headed to the job. I got a hangover headache from singing all night long. I'm bleeding, please get me through. You spend another morning with the Assembly Line Blues. My 15-minute break, it goes by in a wink. 15 minutes of work lasts for days. I do think another day, another dollar paying my dues. You spend another night with the Assembly Line Blues. Yep. You do one thing wrong and they take away your rights. I assemble in the morning, reassembling at night. They say, by the way, you're gonna work Sunday too. You spend another morning with the Assembly Line Blues. I'm sighing and dying and panting for a rest, while the boss man is smiling with his feet on his desk. I wish for one day he could walk in my boots. He wouldn't last an hour with the Assembly Line Blues. Nope. Now the clock is striking 7 and I don't have a care. I got my hand on my time card, my finger in the air. Tonight I'll be
singing at the Commons for you. Forget about my life with the assembly line blues. The assembly line blues. The assembly line blues. Thank you for bringing your own beer. Y'all got pretty good rhythm out there. Not too shabby. We'll take a vote here. Do y'all want me to just keep rocking, or do you want to play 2 sets? I guess I should ask John. He's kind of in charge. Is it a 2-set Sunday? Or? Oh, I'm in charge? Don't tell. All right. Well, then we got time for 89 more songs, everybody. Put that up. I'm going to put that right there. One of my favorite John Hartford songs here. Someday, my baby, when I'm a man, and others have taught me the best that they can, they'll sell me a suit and cut off my hair and send me to work in tall buildings. So it's goodbye to the sunshine, goodbye to the dew, and goodbye to the flowers, and goodbye to you. I'm off to the subway, I must not be late. I'm going to work in tall buildings. When I'm retired, my time is my own. I made all the payments, it's time to go home. I wonder what happened betwixt and between when I went to work in tall buildings. So it's goodbye to the sunshine, goodbye to the dew, and goodbye to the flowers, and goodbye to you. I'm off to the subway, I must not be late. I'm going to work in tall buildings. It's goodbye to the sunshine, goodbye to the dew, and goodbye to the flowers, and goodbye to you. I'm off to the L train, I must not be late. I'm going to work in tall buildings. Thank you. 2003 was when I moved to Chicago from a town of 1,700 people to a city of 17 bajillion people.
I took my small town roots with me, I think. I love that there's kids here. That doesn't happen often at my shows. And they even made me some art. I'm so grateful. Thanks for making me some art, kids. I tend to keep it clean. There's a little bit of subject matter, but there's no curse words or anything in a farmer show. So. I did one time, when I was about 20 years ago, I had this song called Alarm Clock. And at the end of the song, I dropped a great big F-bomb in the song. And I would play it at bars, and people loved it. Like, all my friends loved it. They would all freak out, like, yeah! And my mom would sit there and go, you know. And so I asked her one time, I was like, Mom, would you care if I ever recorded and released the Alarm Clock song with the F-bomb in it? Because I'm a mama's boy. I'll be 60 and still getting her permission, you know. And she said, not as long as your grandparents are alive. And I said, deal. And when we made that deal, my grandma was 73 and my grandpa was 79. And now my grandparents are 93 and 99. And I hope another 20 years goes by before I can record and release that song. My grandpa still lives in the same farmhouse he grew up in. He's a total country boy. And my grandma is a big city girl, and by big city girl, I mean Peoria. She used to ride the bus and have a lot of street smarts, and you put the two of them together, and you get me, I guess. They love this song. I think it's probably my favorite one. It goes like this. I was down on the farm, you know, just tilling around. It's just me and Grandpa waiting on a familiar sound. Come 11:30, we both hear Grandma's voice saying it's time to eat, you'd better bring it in, boys. Well, the food's out on the table and I was ready to take my place. She pulled me aside once while Grandpa was washing his face. Said, you won't need this now, boy, oh, but someday you will. She said, keep this in your shoe. It was a $20 bill. Except for them young soldiers we send off to war. Seems you're always righting the wrongs of somebody else. Seems you're always fighting for somebody other than yourself. Still do. Well, I'll keep you in my heart. You're 20 in my shoe. I was up there in the city, you know, just killing my time. Yeah, the show got over early, so I was just
blowing my mind. This man came up to me and he tried to ruin all my fun. He pushed me to the ground and then he pulled out a gun. Said, if you've no money, boy, this'll be the end of you. I said, hold on a minute, I got a 20 in my shoe. Well, he leaned in there real close and then he stared in disbelief. When I reached for that 20, you know I sized up that thief. But he never saw it coming. Oh, I took that man's life. 'Cause next to Grandma's 20, I keep Grandpa's knife. Grandma and Grandpa, they don't make them like you anymore, except for them young soldiers we send off to war. Seems you're always right in the wrongs of somebody else. Seems you're always fighting for somebody other than yourself. All that you've done now, all that you still do, well, I'll keep you in my heart, your knife and 20 in my shoe. Thank you. Thank you. It's my favorite song that I wrote, except people come up to me all the time after the show and say, "Did you really kill that guy?" I'm like, what do you want me to respond to you right now? It's like, did you really get him? It's like, what do you want me to say? Nobody ever asked Johnny Cash if he really killed that guy in Reno, you know. And he killed him just to kill him, just to watch him die. At least I stabbed the guy in self-defense, you know, come on. I'm gonna send this song out to the beautiful couple here in the front row. Then I'll play one more, then we'll take a little break, because star of the show needs to go to the bathroom. And then we'll come back and play 40 more. Give or take. You and me sitting in the back of my memory, like a honeybee buzzing around a glass of sweet Chablis. The radio's on, windows rolled up and my mind's rolled down. Headlights flashing like silver moons dancing on the ground. Oh, we made love in everywhere love can be made. Oh, we made time feel like time could never fade. Friday night we both made the guitars hum, and Saturday made Sunday feel like it would never come. Gonna be a long Monday, sitting all alone on a mountain by a river that has no end. Gonna be a long Monday, stuck like a tick of a clock has come unwound again.
John Prine song, and this is my favorite line.
Soul to soul, heart to heart, and cheek to cheek. Come on, baby, give me a kiss that'll last all week. The thought of you leaving again, it brings me down. The promise of your sweet love brings me around. Gonna be a long Monday, sitting all alone on a mountain by a river that has no end. Gonna be a long Monday, stuck like a tick of a clock that's come unwound again and again. 7 deadly sins are sitting at the bottom of the deep blue sea. Objects in the mirror may appear nearer than they seem to be.
All right.
Well, I've been crying, and I don't know why. Nobody's being born, nobody died, no one's helloing, no one's goodbye, and I don't know why. I just keep on crying. Maybe it's this letter, maybe it's this sound, maybe it's this weather, maybe it's this town, maybe it's this road that, well, it keeps on going. Maybe it's this river, it just keeps on flowing. Well, I've been crying, and I don't know why. Nobody's being born, nobody died, no one's helloing, no one's goodbye, and I don't know why. I just keep on crying. Maybe it's what I've got, maybe it's what I have, maybe it's my mama, maybe it's my dad, maybe it's these words that were never spoken, maybe it's this circle, or will it be unbroken? I've been crying, and I don't know why. Nobody's being born, nobody died, no one's hello, no one's goodbye, and I've been crying. In the middle of the country, in the middle of the state, in the middle of town, in the middle of the street, in the middle of the day, and I know perfectly well why. It's another new song, and I got a band now. Yeah.
my solo career started to take off, so I decided let's put a wrench in that and start a band. We have a lot of fun. We get around in a vessel we like to call Barbra Streisand van. Yeah. That's our tour bus, good old Barb. And we had just gotten out of that thing that we went through that we're not talking about, that we're moving on from, hopefully. And we're finally getting back to playing shows. And the first week we were back, we were driving from Benton Harbor, Michigan to Appleton, Wisconsin. And in front of us was this giant oil tanker. And the tanker hit a little bit of snow and sleet, turned over and took up the whole interstate. And we couldn't get by. We were right behind it. I thought, this is just our luck. Finally getting back on the road, and this is what happens. We were the first vehicle right behind the whole thing. And pretty soon all this emergency personnel started showing up. And I said, man, is there any way we can get out of this? And he said, not a chance. To the left of us was a giant ditch that there was no way Barb was getting through. To the right of us was another ditch that there was no way Barb was getting through. In front of us there was a giant oil tanker. So I started telling this guy about our whole situation and how we were finally back to work. And how we were finally doing our thing that we loved, that we're so passionate about. And I think he started feeling sorry for me. Sometimes you get that when you're a musician. So I said, man, please, is there any way out of this? He said, not unless you think you can drive this van on this narrow shoulder a half a mile in reverse. We got to that gig 5 minutes early. Thank you, John T. Weiser. I've been crying, and I think I know why. Stick around. Thank you so much.
Said we were born in a barn, the barn my grandpa built. And every night we come inside and lie under grandma's quilts. Been working these hands, working this land, it seems ever since birth. Hammering away in a factory or outside tilling the earth. My family works in a factory, my family works on the farm. We work in the farms and the factories, never work on a factory farm. My dad and first, my Papa Hirsch, held the soles of the working folks' shoes. To work day and night, to march, to fight, to stand up and stomp out the blues. Well, I take the spirit so people can hear it, and I put it into a song. And every part, it comes from the heart and has our name put on. My family works in a factory, my family works on the farm. Take pride in the farms and the factories, no pride on a factory farm. I'm 6 strings of plucking, 18 wheels of trucking. My cousin, he's making good time. Through blood, sweat, and tears, coffee and beers, I'm just trying to remember the lines. From cities and caverns, a small town tavern, a sister or a mom and pop store. Blow a fuse or a wire, a shoulder, a tire, patch it up and haul back for more. My family works in a factory, my family works on the farm. Take pride in the farms and the factories, bad blood on a factory farm. My wife and my mom are both teachers, hard work and research. My Uncle Dan's a preacher and Judy plays the organ in church. My grandfather served overseas, then farming became his life. Gives thanks on his 2 replacement knees, he retired at 85. My family works in a factory, my family works on the farm. Thank God for the farms and the factories, thank the devil for the factory farm. My family works in the factory, my family works on the farm. Thank God for the farms and the factories, thank the devil for the factory farm. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Dedicating this song to my buddy Matthew over there. And it's a family farmer. And this song starts out about working on the farm and getting your hands dirty.
That's what Grandpa did, and Grandma made quilts, and as I looked over right behind Matthew, there's a whole wall full of quilts. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Christmas miracle. A folking miracle. Everybody's land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. Redwood forests to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Yeah, this land was made for you and me. Thanks for sticking around. Well, early this morning I was washing my face, thinking about going to town. Sick and tired of hanging around this place, waiting on the blues to drag me down. Here I go, maybe I'm coming around. Got a ways to go, but maybe I'm coming around. To finally lay these burdens down. 'Cause I've been running nearly all of my life, far and fast as I can. It may sound funny, but I'm thinking this might be about right where I came in. Here I go, maybe I'm coming around. I'm a little bit slow, but maybe I'm coming around. To finally lay these burdens down. And one fine day, I'll be free. Until it comes, I'll go on. Hey! See, my heart's a little ragged, but it's all that I've got, so I'm gonna give it a try. Said, look out, world, I'm coming ready all night. I don't wanna let you pass me by. Here I go, maybe I'm coming around. I've got a ways to go, but maybe I'm coming around. To finally lay these burdens down. Maybe I'm coming around. Maybe I'm coming around. Maybe we're coming around. To finally lay these burdens down. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. Thank you to the kids for extra art. Yeah, the stage is getting covered with beautifulness. I love it. I talked a little bit about John Prine in the first set. I'm a big John Prine fan. He's a hero of mine. And, he's a songwriter from Illinois that used to deliver the mail. I'm a songwriter from Illinois that used to deliver pizzas. We're like practically related, I think. Practically related. This is a song I wrote the night he passed away. I knew he was sick, And I wasn't really writing much during that whole time. And he passed away on April 7th, 2020, which is the name of the song. And I think we were like 3 weeks into that whole lockdown, shutdown, crazy thing. And I wasn't doing my job properly. I wasn't writing. I didn't know how to put it all into words. And on that day, I decided, all right, enough is enough. I'm going to start writing down everything that happened to me during this day. And I'm going to warn you all, it was a long day. There's a lot that happens here. And the day that I started writing, again, happened to be the night that he passed away. Here's a song about all of it. Today I saw an old friend of a friend of a friend, and we both wondered when we would see you again. And it's no surprising we ain't talking too much. With the distance rising, we're falling out of touch. Today I heard a joke about a joke about a joke. Got it from second-hand smoke. I laughed so hard I almost choked. And it's no surprising we ain't laughing too much. Got a fever that's rising, and I'm falling out of touch. The day I had a drink with a drink, with a drink. With every push and pull I'd sink a little further past the brink. And it's no surprising we've been drinking too much. There's an emptiness rising, and I'm falling out. Today I heard a lie about a lie, about a lie, and it began to multiply. It's from another out-of-touch guy, and it's no surprising he's been boasting too much. With the numbers rising, falling out of touch. The day I had a dream about a dream, about a dream, and I realized what it means. Spent too much time in between dreams, and it's no surprising we ain't sleeping too much. There's a restlessness rising, falling out of touch. Today I wrote a song about a song, about a song. And now I know where I went wrong, 'cause when I waited too long, and it's no surprising we ain't interacting too
music and the writing and get us back in. Tonight I lost an old friend of a friend of a friend. That was a long day, I know. Thanks for sitting through that day, everybody. That was a long day. Long day. That was like almost like a Bob Dylan day, like 14 verses or something like that, right? Here's one you don't have to think about too much. I wrote it on I-74 with a deer. Typically I write all my own material, but for this one I had a little assistance. When I'm not in Barbara Strai's van, I'm in my tour bus. You might have seen it out back. It's a 2014 Ford Fusion with 251,000 miles. Thank you very much. Yes. Get all over the place with that thing. But once in a while I have to get to a gig on an airplane, and I've always hated getting on those gigs and airplanes. I can't stand it. I'm a Central Illinois guy. I'm a flatlander. Keep my feet on the ground. It's all I want to do. And I especially hate getting on those airplanes with this guitar, which is worth way more than my 2014 Ford Fusion with 251,000 miles. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know, got to bring home the bacon to your vegetarian wife once in a while. It's true. It's a true story. Oh, I forgot we're YouTubing this, aren't we? Is this being live streamed? She's not watching, okay. She's grading papers, but all right, we won't talk. Nevertheless, we won't talk trash about her. But anyways, I was playing a gig one night in Indianapolis, Indiana. I was opening up for Robert Earl Keen. He's a big hero of mine. And knocked it out of the park. Had one of the best gigs ever. And I was coming home, and I was feeling so good about the gig, and I couldn't wait to tell my wife all about how good the gig was and bring her home some bacon. And I got to Farmer City, Illinois. I hit a deer. As soon as I hit that deer, I thought to myself, maybe flying isn't that bad after all. I wish I could fly to every gig. And it happened on Father's Day, and that's always a tough day for me, but my old man was around. He was always optimistic and always looking at the bright side of things. I sure wish he was around for the last 18 months. But so as I sat there on the side of I-74 outside of Farmer City, Illinois, with my car and my guitar and my notebook and the deer, we all got in a little circle together. And we came up with this song together. And I really have to give so much credit to the deer. He really hung on with his last breath to make this song happen. And this song is true 364 days a year. But on Christmas Eve, this song is not true. It goes like this. Yep. A country boy from Illinois. Well, I got a fear of flying. It ain't so much the flights or even the heights. It's more the flights, the heights, and the dying. But I gotta get me and my fiddle to the show. This work I'm doing keeps me moving. Well, I got a long way to travel. It sounds insane to board a plane when all you know is hard road of gravel. Then I recall what my daddy told me long ago. He said you can stick around with your feet on the ground, but there ain't nothing wrong with getting high. 'Cause you can't drink a beer while you're driving down here. You can't hit a deer in the sky. Yeah, you can stick around with your feet on the ground, but there ain't nothing wrong with getting high. 'Cause you can't drink a beer while you're driving down here. You can't hit a deer in the sky. This is slowly becoming my second most requested song by kids 10 and under. Can you believe it? Thanks, kids. With your feet on the ground, but there ain't nothing wrong with getting high. 'Cause you can't drink a beer while you're driving down here. You can't hit a deer in the sky. Y'all still with me out there? All right, I feel like this one's going pretty well so far. I noticed one tie-dye and about 38 flannels in the room tonight. I knew this song was going to go over pretty well. That's the good news. The bad news is that was the whole song. I couldn't get any more out of the deer. So anyways, I've missed this so much. Thanks for coming out tonight. I appreciate it. It feels so good to play music again. I know. And what I really miss as a folk singer who likes a lot of attention is a good old sing-along. Y'all want to give this one a try? Cool. The kids already know it, but some of you might need a lesson or two. We'll see what happens here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can stick around with your feet on the ground, but there ain't nothing wrong with getting high. 'Cause you can't drink a beer while you're driving down here. You can't hit a deer in the sky. Like a band of angels you are out there. That was gorgeous. Didn't even have to teach you. Didn't even have to nod at you or anything. I played this in Chicago one night and it took them a half hour to get as good as y'all did on the first try. Yeah. Of course, they were drinking $13 beers, so. Here we go. You can stick around with your feet on the ground, but there ain't nothing wrong with getting high. 'Cause you can't drink a beer while you're driving down here. You can't hit a deer in the sky. Yeah, you can't stick around with your feet on the ground, but there ain't nothing wrong with getting high. 'Cause you can't drink a beer while you're driving down here. You can't hit a deer in the sky. A country boy from Illinois, I used to have a fear of flying. Oh, y'all sound fantastic. The thing I get asked about that song after the show is always, especially in central Illinois, did you eat it? Nowhere else in the country, just central Illinois. Did you eat it? And then it's like, yeah, and you should just see the disappointment that comes over their faces when I say, no, I didn't.
they just look so disappointed in me. And then, like, they liked me, and then they don't like me anymore. I'm like, you guys are hardcore, man. I was like, I know I'm supposed to have this Americana outlaw country reputation, but no, I did not eat it. And then I tried to, like, just imagine myself being on I-74 and picking up this dead deer and putting it in the back of my Ford Fusion and bringing it home to my vegetarian wife and doing it up in the backyard and putting it in the freezer. I mean, just no, it didn't happen. I didn't eat it. Would have made the story way cooler. Yeah, hopefully there won't be a next time. I came to the Heart City 'cause the country was soft. From a dirty basement into a dirty loft, I've been searching for things that I might never find. And every time I sing, I've got you on my mind. More people, more places, more things to do, more ways for me to keep my mind off of you. Here up, here up, here. Oh, and I gave $1 to so many bums that it wasn't much longer till I myself was one. I've been playing for tips underneath this blue line train. I was thinking of your lips as I was standing in the rain. More people, more places, more things to do, more ways for me to keep my mind off of you. Here up, here up, here. This is the first song I wrote when I moved to Chicago in 2003. From a town of 1,700 to a town of 17 bajillion. I put everything I owned in my 1990 Chevy Beretta GT. Headed up Old 55. I lived there for about 5 days and had already spent the whole $150 that I saved all summer long from detasseling corn to move to Chicago. And I was living in this apartment that cost $2,200 a month. Wasn't that bad though, because I had 6 roommates and they were all musicians, which is why I began performing solo. I was feeling down and out and ragged and questioning my existence in music in the big city and even life itself. But I decided to muster up some strength and go across the street to perform at the open mic. And on my way to the open mic, I heard this voice. It said, "Hey kid, you got any change?" I said, "No sir, I spent all my detasseling money." And he said, "Well, hey kid, do you want some?" And I thought, wow, Bishop Hill, I must look even worse than I feel. Because this guy's been out here every day, all day, trying to get change off of people, and now he's trying to give some of it to me.
Well, I turned around and he gave me a wink and a smile, and I gave him a wink and a smile, and that one moment changed my whole perspective on music and the big city and life. And let me tell you something, Creative Commons, I went to that open mic and I tore the roof off of the place, y'all. I tore the roof clean off of that place. And all 8 people there freaked the hell out. And all 8 people there bought my cassette tape that I had out at the time. Back before cassette tapes were cool again. It was just what we had. A while ago, I played a gig with some 18-year-olds, and I dug their music, and after the show, they gave me a cassette tape, and I said, what am I supposed to do with this? Scrape the ice off of my windshield this winter? Come on, man. Nevertheless, I took that cassette tape money. I put it in that guy's little tip jar. I went back to my $2,200 apartment where I lived with my 6 musician roommates, and I wrote this song. And I became known as Chicago Farmer, which 20 years later still doesn't make a lick of sense. I don't live in Chicago and I don't farm. What are you gonna do? It's my identity. I can't get rid of it anymore now. And I'm standing on the corner in the coldest of nights, singing you can light 1,000,000 candles, kid, but just one candle's light. I harmonize with screaming tires, sound just like my voice, and I'm feeling more inspired, y'all, to make some more noise. More people, more places, more things to do, more ways for me to keep my mind off you. Here up, here up, here, here. How does it feel? How does it feel to be on your own with no direction home, like a complete unknown, like a rolling. Thank you. Thank you very much. I got time for a couple more, and then I should probably get going. I got a big day of playing guitar and writing poems tomorrow, you know. It'll be a long Monday. Got time for a few more, though. Anybody y'all feeling like? Anybody? Boom, 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 boom. You gotta be quick with these dudes, man. I tell you what, you gotta be quick. Two songs that I know even. This is a song I wrote when I was going through a bit of a quarter-life crisis. Y'all ever been through one of those before? Sometimes I say that and people say, yeah, twice. Quarter-life crisis is like a midlife crisis, but without the affair or the sports car. There's no affair because you're single. There's no sports car or any car for that matter because you're broke, which is why you're single. And all your friends are over in Bloomington, Illinois, and getting married and having kids and landing good paying jobs and buying houses, and they're over there at the local insurance companies, you know. And you're living over at 302 and a half East Mulberry. You know times are tough if you got a fraction in your address, am I right? I was living in tiny houses before they were even cool. You're playing every Thursday night at a place called the Lizard's Lounge, which looks and smells and feels just like you would think a place called the Lizard's Lounge would look and smell and feel. But you're getting by. Here's a song about it. I went to the watch doctor to get my timing fixed. The thing was happening too fast. Everything came too quick. There's diamond rings, they're on the fingers of my friends. I'm here singing, it's time to wind me up again. So pass a quarter, and I might sing one that you like. Here's my shoulder, cry another quarter past tonight. So I went to my friend Joe, the mechanic, to get my time in check. Said, I don't know lately, Joe, I just been such a wreck. It seems like yesterday. It's kinda like riding a bike. You can't remember how to forget another quarter past tonight. So I went to see the boys down on North Evans Street, to the other side, where the grass is a little more green. If I don't pass, no if I partake in this delight, I just might make it through another quarter past tonight. Then I went back to the watch doctor, and I said, I just don't know, I think you went a little too far. Now I'm moving really slow. Emotions, well, they're all catching up with me. They're on my trail, on my back, on my neck. I feel them breathe, the breath of death, or maybe the breath of life. I'm killing time, I just killed another quarter past tonight. Well, it was a Sunday night, and I was feeling all right, getting off work and tucking my shirt and heading out to the parking lot. It's just a jump, a skip, and a hop over the corner of Locust and Oak Street and Carl's Ice Cream Shop. I go there sometimes on Sundays and order up my usual. The girl behind the counter says, you want your usual? I said, yes, I do, but really I just come down here so I can see you. And I order me up a queen-size swirly cone, and I take it up and down, and I head on home to get ready for a night on the town. Big old Bishop Hill town. And I was hanging out with my best friend and his girlfriend, my other best friend and his girlfriend. We were riding on 5 wheels that night, and I was the 5th, as usual. And the 5th Amendment, I never do plea. And speaking of fists, why don't we pull over and get us a can of 7 and a case of some raspberry stoli, and we head on down there to the brewery. And I saw some old flames. Eyes are burning, wheels are turning, but I could not remember their names. And after the Creative Commons show, I head on over there to that tavern, and later on I walk out with 16 phone numbers in my hand. All from big burly dudes want to know if I'm ready to start a band. I said, man, I've been on that road, I've been on that trip, and I just ain't ready for that kind of relationship. So we headed on home. My best friend and his girlfriend passed out. My other best friend and his girlfriend passed out, and they left me there all alone on the dirty old couch. And I was about ready to pass out, but opened up my left eye, and what did I see? But this beautiful, sexy guitar staring right at me. And I walked up to this guitar and I said, "Hey baby," I said, "I think me and you can make some beautiful music together." She said, "Boy, you ain't nothing but a player." I said, I can sing too. And I held her real close like, and we sung and we danced and we made love all night long. And Monday morning we woke up somewhere in between Bishop Hill and Joliet with a full tank of gas, wearing sunglasses, a half a joint, and this quarter life crisis song. A little Blues Brothers reference there for you. Hit it. I went to the watch doctor to get my timing fixed. Everything was happening too fast. Everything came too quick. These diamond rings, they're on the fingers of my friends. I'm here singing. It's time to wind me up again. So pass a quarter, and I might sing one at you like "Kiss My Shoulder." Cry another quarter past tonight. Just another quarter past tonight. Just another quarter past. I went to the watch doctor to get my timing fixed. Thank you very much. We can't do two slow ones in a row. Well, I was walking down Prairie Street. It was her lunch hour, we were to meet. I got there early to bring her joy. I started hurting when I saw her flirting. Stop me if you've heard this one. With a bleach blonde surfer boy. He had big muscles, he had a tan. Got to a scuffle and I got banned for going crazy, for making noise. So this isn't Florida, it's not California, it's Illinois. Ran off together, they went up north, up to Chicago, so they could surf. He left me here all alone again. She said she loved him 'cause he could hang 10 on Lake Michigan. But shorts and sandals were only clothes. So in December he up and froze. His dark tan turned so pale and old. She couldn't accept him, and so she left him out in the cold. Well, me just being the guy I am, I went and found him, lent him a hand, taught him what Illinois is all about. Got him a whiskey, took him out to Dixie's, and I thought he mild. We started drinking, we talked all day about how we let her go get away. Away with murder, away with sin. We kept on drinking, we started thinking, plotted revenge. Daughter of a preacher over in Urbana, but on the weekends hit the Cabana. Now the congregation, they can't forget, they found a mixture of their late night pictures on the internet. Now he's my best friend, hearty and tall. He's got 7 piercings and a mohawk. We got nothing against bleach blonde surfer boys, but this isn't Florida, it's not California, it's Illinois. Yes, he's my best friend, hearty and tall. He's got 7 piercings and a mohawk. We got Got nothing against bleach, blonde surfer boys, but this isn't Florida, it's not California. What is it, Bishop Hill? It's Illinois. Everybody, ah, da, 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 la, da, 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 la, da, 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 la, da, 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 la, da, 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 la, da, 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 la, da, 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 la, 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 la. It's Illinois. I'll give you one more story here before we hit the road. Thank y'all so much for coming out tonight. I wrote this song when I moved to Bloomington, Illinois, and it was before I was even a musician. I was this thing you would call a poet. And the poets didn't much care for the musicians. And the poets were the most frail and pale people that you had ever seen. And we only came out in the evenings to suck the marrow out of life. And one day we were at poetry night, and this guy came to poetry night, and he didn't look like the rest of us at poetry night. Now, we don't discriminate or judge, but this guy, unlike us, happened to be tan and muscular and good looking. So we were like, what's this guy doing here? But that wasn't really the problem. We didn't care about that. The problem was this guy came to poetry night with a guitar. That's blasphemy at poetry night. We don't allow that at all. And I was like, are we really going to let this guy who's handsome and tan and muscular and has a guitar get up here? And they were like, let's give him a chance. It's like, here we go. So he started out his little song. Didn't even have words. The whole song was just la da 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 la da 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 la da 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 la da da da. And I was like, why are we allowing this? This is awful. This is ridiculous. This goes against everything that we are about. And I looked around the room, and all the girls were just like drooling over this guy, because they had never seen a guy who was handsome and tan and muscular. And then I looked over at the girl who ran the thing, and she was doing the same thing. And I said, I'm out of here. This is absolutely awful. These people are freaking out about this guy and his guitar and his fa la 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 songs. And the following week, I brought my guitar to poetry night, ladies and gentlemen. And I played this song right here. And to this day, it still has the most requested poetry that I've ever come up with. It goes like this. La da 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 da, la 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 da da da. Let's get in the spirit. Fa la 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 la, fa la la la, fa la 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 la, fa la la la, fa la la la, fa la la la. This isn't Florida, it's not California, it's Illinois. That's one catchy song that I perform. I've still got the dirtiest uniform. Thank y'all so much. Have a happy holiday and a happy new year. Appreciate you. Give it up for all the artists. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. It's been 10 long years since I left my home in Holler where I was born, where the cool fall nights make the wood smoke rise and a singer blows his horn. I fell in love with the lights of town and thought that I could stay true. I ran on up to old Chi-Town to work in a bar or two. What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave my plow in the field to look for a job in town? That girl ran off with someone else. Them bars, they took all my pay. So now I stand where the old home stood before they took it away. So the geese fly south and the cold wind moans as I sit and I hang my head. I lost my love, I lost my home. There's no more to be said. What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave my plow in the field to look for a job in town? Yes, why did I leave my plow in Bishop Hill to look for a job in town? Thank y'all so much. See you next year. Thanks, John.
Thank you. Let's do one more.
One more?
Wish you a Merry Christmas.
Okay.
I can't. I don't have it here.
Do you know how to play it?
Let's just. No, we're gonna do it a cappella.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You lead.
Well, you're.
You lead.
All right. One last thing. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Are you guys up for it? Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
All right, cool. Besides Deer in the Sky and $13 beers and Silent Night, I don't really know. It's the same song, yeah. Okay.
Right.
1, 2. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Tidings we bring to you and your king. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. Don't bore us. Do the chorus. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Well done, everybody.